What's up? It's your boy Mean Joe Green, aka Prince of the Ghetto. I just seen this clip of 6ix9ine, and he was getting on 21 Savage them about the street movement, you know, and a lot of things he was saying in that clip was right. If you this how I see it in the fuck the streets movement. If you doing street stuff now, and then you finally get caught. And then now you want to say fuck the streets, so you don't have to face time. You can go ahead and rat. You can go ahead and snitch and get yourself free. Then I think that's wrong. That's weak. You a coward for doing that. That ain't stand up. But right now, if you saying fuck the streets before you go to jail, you telling everybody, man, I ain't with that street stuff, and then you go to jail and you tell, okay, that's cool. I respect that because you wasn't with the street code. You wasn't doing street stuff before you went in. You let everybody know, like, I ain't with it. But really, 9 times out of 10, if you ain't with the street code, you don't have no business doing nothing to go to jail for because you're not in the streets, right? But if you just decide to do something and get caught, that's not stand up. And you saying fuck the streets. So that's why I was getting on about 21 Savage, those Atlanta rappers. They still rapping about it, but they still rapping about it, but they talking like they not, like, fuck the streets, but you still rapping about it. You can't do that either. And 6ix9ine was making some good points in that interview. He put out what 21 said about Gunna, said they swept it under the rug before. That's like moving the goalposts. He's saying like Atlanta, they taking up for rats in Atlanta. And I mean, hey, facts is facts. If you rat it, if you talking that street code stuff and you go against that code, that's supposed to be a violation no matter who you are. You got to accept that, accept accountability for that. And 6ix9ine, I know, like he said, he the loud Mexican. True that, yes. He was making some good points about, that subject. And I don't agree with if you talking that street talk and then you finally get caught. Now you want to say, forget the streets. You see what I'm saying? Because now you caught. Or you want to fuck with the rats. Or one of those rats you fuck with was really your real partner and you want to get back together. You can't do that. If you consider a street ninja. You see what I'm saying? But the story behind 6ix9ine, what I'm getting out of, 6ix9ine, of course, he's a rat too. But looking at his story, he was up there in New York. Treyway was shot at him. I heard that story back then. Everybody heard that story. And what I think 6ix9ine, yeah, he ratted. But I think he learned from all of that. When he was with Treyway, then he was a rookie in the game. He was learning. Of course, he took the stand and pointed, which was wrong. But I think that now that he out and he realizing other guys is doing this and he learning our style. He learned about the streets. He learned about being a rat and how we look at. He learned the codes. You see what I'm saying? And by him learning, going through that, he learned that. And he looking at other guys that everybody looking up did the same thing he did. So that's why he calling all that out, because when he did it, everybody punished him. You a rat. You a rat. We don't fuck with rats. But see, them same people that talk about that, they're saying that he was a rat. He looking at them now, and they doing similar things that he was doing. They rats. So how I look at it, how he looking like, well, hey, y'all did me like that. Let's call them out. Rats calling out rats. I don't know how I got to this, though, to be 1,000 with you, but that's what's happening. And I'm just looking at the 6ix9ine point of view. He looking at they rats. He ratted, true that everybody know, but why everybody ain't getting on them like how they did him? That's what he's saying. And I think that he finally learned the game, and now he really saying fuck the streets too, but he just mad at the fact that they not doing other people like how they did him. That's what got 6ix9ine all bitter. You see what I'm saying? And I got to, a lot of that stuff he was right on, man. We can't move the goalpost. If you in the streets, I'm out the streets. You know what I'm saying? But you still got to get out in these streets for certain things. See, me, I ain't finna do crimes enough with nobody because I know people gonna tell anyway. The street codes is gone. Yeah, the streets is dead. But if you still gonna call, do this street thing, calling yourself street, rapping about it, you got to still live by it. And 6ix9ine just putting that on the forefront. That's why he mad. Because he looking at why y'all ain't treating him like y'all did him. But another thing I heard 6ix9ine was saying, he's saying like he want people to, for him saying the N-word, nigga, he talking about somebody come make him stop. He acting a little too cocky. See, you up north talking that nigga talk. I ain't gonna hold you. Come down to the south and do that. Somebody gonna get at you. You see what I'm saying? The south don't really play about that. And I'm the one of those one. I'm like, hey, I ain't tripping on it, but I know people that will trip off that. If another nationality come down here saying ninja freely, and if they warn you like don't do that, and you get cocky like, well, who gonna stop me? Somebody gonna test you doing it. Just keeping it a bean with you, So I think he really a little cocky. I understand because he got money. Let me tell you something, that fame, people know you got money, you living good, it'll make you act a certain way. As opposed to you in the hood, you know what I'm saying, broke, struggling. He wouldn't be doing all that if he had to, move back to the hood and somebody called him out. Because he could easily be touched. But see, he rich now and famous, he behind those fences. He don't have to get out there and rumble in the jungle to see people to test him. He can dodge that, which is a good thing now. Cause I'll take that any day of being in this jungle too, But I wanted to make a point, 6ix9ine, I really think that he learned. I really think that, he know the code now, and he see a lot of people breaking the code and ain't getting called out on it. So that's why he out there like how he is. He want the same justice. He wants y'all to call them rats and turn your back on them like y'all did him. But really ain't nobody turned their back on him because he still got a big fan base. He doing numbers on the internet. But, like they say, once a rat, always a rat. So in this situation, it's like a rat calling out rats. Which, what sense is that? What part of the game is that? Who gonna write this in the book? Now, what code this gonna be now? If a rat call out a rat, we got to do this. What we gonna do about this? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm out the way. A lot of people, talking about it, they interviewing, doing things, but hey, that's between them. I'm out the way. Rats calling out rats, the game, they just tell you how the game is, man. But on the flip, no, that's really these rappers. You still got some real thoroughbred street niggas that people just don't see. They live by that for real. It's just that these rappers, these millionaire rappers, is on the forefront where everybody can see doing it. And the niggas that really like that, we looking back like, man, they playing. This shit a joke. And they making it a joke to the next generation. So that's why I say they ain't gonna put the real ninjas on. I know some real people right now that's rapping, they won't get signed because they too real. They not talking, it's like the industry, they want this fake stuff. They want the younger generation to look up to this fake stuff and do rap and do all this lame stuff because that make the police job easier. Then you getting a real nigga that's standing on that. They got cold, another booster type nigga. They're talking, putting their foots on their necks. They don't want them type of niggas in the game. Honey, they do not want them type real niggas. They pushing them away. What you talking about in your rap? You talk about the street code, not snitching? Nope, we ain't signing. They ain't gonna sign you. But let you come up there talking that fake stuff. They know you ain't about what you talking about. You lying. You fuck the shit out of it. Oh yeah, give them a deal. Let's manipulate the fans, the audience. That's what these labels want. And that's what it look like these rappers doing nowadays. And 6ix9ine calling it out, I see that. He calling it out. Y'all called it on him, so he calling it out on y'all. That's all that's about, man. That's why 6ix9ine is angry. Because nobody is pointing the finger at the people that did the same thing he did. He took some mean punches behind his ratting. Which he did rat. That was the streets don't roll like that. The streets don't roll either way. When you go and get caught and go to jail to talk to the police, you ain't really got no business chatty patting, man. All you supposed to be like, well, I'm gonna let my lawyer talk for me. But hey, it's a new age, it's a new day. These rappers thinking they millionaire, can't nobody tell them nothing, so that's how they moving. But just letting y'all people know, in the streets, there's still some real ninjas out here that live by their code. Y'all rich rappers, the ones y'all looking up to, y'all behind them fences. So y'all can talk that talk like y'all doing. You see, y'all can do that because y'all can hide. Y'all don't have to come out here for a real nigga to spot you and put you on the spot. So, that's the way the game is now. So, I'm out the streets because there's too much lame stuff going on, And I'm sure a lot of more real niggas like this too. They out the way because once a rat can set you back. You know what I'm saying? So we stay away from rats and lame shit. But I'm in this video right here, man. A lot of stuff 6ix9ine said in the interview made sense, but it's still a rat telling on rats. What part of the game is that? If you made it this far, like the video, man, and you already know, I'm coming back with some more flavor, and it's all good. It's your boy, Mean Joe Green. Love, and I'm about.